Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. And I did this tag last year, around this time, maybe a little bit later, I don't know. But I thought it'd be fun to do it again this year with just decks I got this year. This is from the Three Frat Readers, I think the last video they did. It was Decks of Descent, or hashtag Decks of Descent. And so I'm going to do Decks of Descent 2024. I have 10 decks. One is a kind of a cheat because I told myself I was going to do decks I got this year, like way earlier in the year that I saved for toward the end of the year. But there's one deck I got last year at December 8th. Actually, it came out. I didn't get it, I think, for a week or two later because December 8th was the day I had my heart attack and went into the hospital, the whole thing, of last year. But it came out December 8th. So that is my one deck from last year of 2023 that I got that I really haven't used because of all the stuff that went on after that date. I had a lot of hospital visits and a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of different medications and a lot of stuff. So I never really got around to using this deck, but I wanted to use it really badly. So, and then the rest of the decks I got are from this year that I purchased throughout the year, beginning of the year, that I just really haven't used or used a lot in the darker part of the year at the beginning, and then waited till it starts getting to the end of the year to use them again. So today is September 21st, 2024. So this will be a hashtag Decks of Descent 2024. So the first deck I'm going to talk about is the deck I got last year, and that is the Witch Sisters Tarot by Julia Jeffrey. This is a Llewellyn publication. Has a magnetic closure, the big box, the big book, just like they all have in their decks. And I very briefly, I think of 1 or 2 days I used this deck, and that was it. But what I got out of it was super dark, super deep, and that's usually the kind of stuff that happens at the end of the year for me. I did edge it in this, I thought it was orange, or like a, it's kind of faded a little bit. It does match the back a little bit, but I thought it was more this color, and it turned out to be a brighter color than that. But it is a glossy, their typical Llewellyn cardstock. This is one of those decks, just like her previous deck, the Hidden Realm, Tarot of the Hidden Realm, which I have. I used both of them together because Tarot of the Hidden Realm only comes out towards the end of the year for some reason. And if I didn't explain, decks of descent are decks that kind of descend into the darker parts of the year, transitioning from summer and fall to winter. And to me, this is a perfect deck for that. It's transitioning from almost fall to winter even, but there are some even spring-like cards in here. But they're very earthy, very transitional deck to me, and very witchy. And I love the primal feel of this deck. And it's very wintry for me too. And it's very beautiful. And it never got its chance last year just because of all the stuff that happened to me. And I really want to dig it out this year and use it. The Tarot of the Hidden Realm is one of my favorites. And here's my cat. He got to poke his face every time in. Bubba, come on. This is my favorite card in here. It's the Seven of Wands, or Waters. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. And their eyes are the same color. Gorgeous. Then we got the tradition here. The Emperor. Gorgeous. So there's quite a few things renamed in here. Come on, dude. Love this one. Oh my god, he's going to lay right on the cards. Wow. Wow. Okay, hold on. Pausing, you guys. Okay, we'll see if he comes back. But yeah, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous deck, and I love it. Love it to pieces. Here he comes back. I put him in his spot on the couch. He's got a little pillow and everything. He don't want to sit in it. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous cards. And like I said, I just haven't really, there's the Hermit, love it. Really haven't been able to use it. Love this. Just haven't really been able to use it a whole lot. Just because of all the stuff that was going on. And then I started getting a whole bunch more decks in January. Yeah. So, now we're on to, we have 9 more decks. And these are decks, I really thought about this. I didn't put the Urban Crow Oracle in here just because I used the crap out of it. And it's a given that it's a darker deck that I'm going to use it at the end of the year. But I used it basically January, February, March, I think, pretty much. And until I could no longer deny that spring was here and winter was gone, I used it. But I am going to pull out the Crow Tarot. This is, of course, created by MJ Cullinane. This deck is a US Games deck. Haven't really, I've used it here and there, but it is to me a darker, descending into the darker times. I got this deck at the beginning, toward the beginning of this year. I used it sparingly in between getting other decks that I thought would pair with it well. And I just really haven't dove into it like I want to use it. So this will be another deck that gets used kind of in this transitioning from, you can tell the days are getting darker. You don't want to admit it, but fall is either here or on its way in whatever part of the world you're in. Now, technically, fall doesn't hit till, I think, tomorrow. But we've had, it's weird because we've had 100-degree weather, but everything is already turning brown. And we're like, what? Like, leaves have fallen. Leaves have been falling since the beginning of August, which is super rare around here. But it's just weird because last week it's been almost 100 degrees every day. Like, you don't want to walk outside. Disgusting. And it just takes your breath away. But you can tell all the leaves are changing on all the trees. And I'm like, that's so weird. That we're still having 100-degree weather in this clearly fall-like atmosphere. And I think this is a perfect deck for that transition. It's not summer anymore, but it's not fall either. Not quite technically on the day, but you know it's coming. And I love this deck to pieces. And I really, like I said, I've used it sparingly. Haven't had a chance to really use it yet. So it's going in the decks I'm going to work with this year. Another deck, Ancient Mysteries Tarot. I got this in April when I went to visit my daughter. I just recently got the matching book that goes with it. It's actually not a bad card stock. The cards stink though. They have a chemical odor to them. It is also a pip deck. But all the majors are literally stonework that has been photographed of Greek mythology or Egyptian mythology. And I'm here for it. In the book I got, it's in a bag over here somewhere, because I've been trying to read it. Because it talks about the origins of the Greek mythology and where he got his inspiration from, the guy that created this deck. But it is a pip deck. So if you don't like that, you won't like this. But I'm here for it, for the statues in it. It's gorgeous, I think. And it wasn't that expensive. And to me, it could be more of a learner deck, but it does lean to me more toward the darker parts of the year, which is why I bought it, looked through it, did a walkthrough, used it for a couple days, and was like, no, it's not this time of year for this deck. It's more for the second half of the year or the very end of the year. And so I put it away, and that has already started to come back out just because I recently bought the book. There's a little white book that goes in with this, but the other book is a huge... Hold on, I'm going to have to find it. Just a second. I have it right here. It's a big book. It talks a little bit about the deck, but it's geared more for the history of Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology, and I'm here for that. And I've started reading that, so it kind of caused me to pull the cards back out again. So that would be another deck that gets used more this time of year. Also, another deck I got this year, Dancing in the Dark Tarot. It's a low Scarabeo. Again, this is another deck I pulled out. Here's the backs. I pulled it out and did a couple readings. I'm like, oh no, this is not the time of the year for this deck. It's more geared for the end of the year when it's dark by 5 and as you can tell, it's very, very dark. And it's very Rider-Waite Smith. It'd be very easy to use. Look at that. Very easy to use in the dark part of the year, I think. Because it gives you that little bit of color you need when everything is dead and dying and gross. But it also speaks to that dark part of the year also, which I think is cool. So this is another deck that I bought, did a couple readings with, and then just let it sit. I've been anxious to pull this one out for the end of the year. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with an Oracle deck. So here we have the Universal Folk Oracle. It's a US Games deck also. I bought this and the Tarot when the Tarot came out this year. This one's been out for a minute. I don't know why, but they give me cozy comfort vibes, both decks. So it does kind of have a spring quality to it, even summer maybe. But for some reason, I've noticed it has a cozy reading by the fire with a kitty cat in your lap, wintry kind of feel to it. So I really haven't used them a whole lot, other than to realize how much I love them. And so I cannot wait to pull this out. Plus, it has color in it, really good color. So in those dead winter months when everything is dead and dying or gone, this is a deck I will probably pull out just for specific splashes of color in my day. So that's the Universal Folk Oracle, and then we have the Universal Folk Tarot. Again, it's like a giant hug when you need it most. When you're at your darkest, this deck gives you a hug. It's a humongous book with it. The cards are huge. Backs. It's a linen cardstock, which US Games, this is a US Games deck, doesn't really do. And again, you got that, and the minors all have keywords, which I'm here for. You get this comfy, cozy vibe from it. Again, like you're reading by a fire with your kitty cat in your lap, purring, and you're watching the snow fall outside, thanking God that you're inside in the warmth, cradled by the fire. And this deck does that for me. It's so beautiful. It's so sweet. And this is the kind of deck you need with that, especially in the dead of winter when there's no color outside. It's just white and black and gray, and you just need this love hug, pick me up to say, hey, we're going to make it through this winter. It just makes you feel all comfy and cozy with a cup of hot chocolate in your hand. This is that deck for me. And I fell for this before I fell for the Oracle. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm buying the Tarot. Might as well buy the Oracle. Bought them both, and I love them together. I love love them. And I just, again, because I realized very quickly they're a very fall winter deck, that I put them away and kind of left them. And now I can't wait to pull them back out. Cannot wait. So that is the Universal Folk Tarot to go with the Universal Folk Oracle that I will be using. So we got 4 decks left. This one is an Oracle deck, Pathwork Oracle by Daniel Ahern. It's artwork by Anatorian. It just came out. It's a US Games deck. This is only like $17. But I do all my pathworking and dark stuff, healing at the end of the year, in the winter time. And this is a perfect deck for that. When it's a time to work on self, this is a deck to do that with. And so I just figured, I'm going to be working on self. I love the Tarot of Abyss. That's another dark part of the year deck, and I will probably pair these two together because it's Anna Torian's artwork. And you know, I'm not going to have a video without her artwork in it. I've got enough of her decks now. I could probably do every video I have a deck of hers in it. But I love this for that. And again, it's got a lot of beautiful color in it. Even though it feels darker, it's got a lot of beautiful color in it. So when you're in that dark part of the year, you can have that as a pick-me-up to kind of lift your spirits up through the depressing bout of winter. And the box has that little V here where it just pulls right up on the lid. I love that. 3 decks left, excuse me. So we're going to go with the Seasons of the Witch Mabon because Mabon is tomorrow, which I'm shocked that I remembered that. But look at that. Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. I do have the, is it the winter one? The blue one? Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. So that one will come out as well. I don't have the other two. To me, I just never was attracted to those two, the first two. But this one is gorgeous. Of course, it's that darker part of the year we're transitioning into, right? We're candied apples and pumpkins and, yeah. It's my favorite time of year, fall, autumn. That time of year where it's not quite winter. You can still have some play. Yeah, look at that autumn equinox. Beautiful. Crow. And I've thought about probably pairing the Crow Tarot with this also, even though I have the Urban Crow Oracle, which will be out. Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I haven't used it because I knew it was for the latter half of the year. And so it will come out definitely and get used. I am in love with the previous two that came out for the summer and spring. I cannot wait to dive into this one. So that's all the Oracle decks. There's 2 decks left. This one I put in a crow bag. This one would not come out. I mean, it has to come out because it is a 3 Trees Tarot deck. And I'm trying to get over myself and use their decks more because they're so beautiful to me. I don't really use them. But this is the Heartwood Tarot. I just got last month. Right before my birthday. I got it like August 29th or something. And my birthday is September 2nd. So I felt like this is a birthday present to myself. There is nothing I can tell you that you don't already know and love about 3 Trees Tarot. All of the decks are fabulous. All of the decks have this beautiful card stock, even though it makes the decks quite chunky. I don't care. I have used the Thistledown like crazy, which will probably come out to pair with this deck, the Oracle. I started using Smoke, Ash, and Embers this year because I've had a lot of dreams about dragons for some reason. And because this is the latest in the series, I have not used it. And I know this is more of a fall deck. So it's been kind of not really waiting because I just got it, but at the end of August. But yeah, it's going to get used. Because I'm trying to, like I said, trying to force myself to use these decks. The Oak, Ash, and Thorn, it took me forever to start using. I do love them. I love how they all read. I just find them so precious that I don't use them. And I'm trying to get over that this year. So this Heartwood I will be forcing myself to bring it out. Same goes for the next deck. The last deck in this video. The Unfinished Business Tarot. First of all, before I was even done with my walkthrough, I was almost crying, almost in tears. This is the second edition, a second printing. It says it somewhere. It says 2024 right there. But it's the second printing of the Unfinished Business Tarot. This is an indie deck by MJ Cullinane. Love the book. The book is well worth it. I love the matte cardstock. It is spectacular and just so soft. Backs are gorgeous. fronts are phenomenal. This is technically, to me, it's a mediumship deck because they're all dead. They're all spirits. And you see crows in it. You see nods to her other decks, which I will probably be using the Crow Tarot with this. I will probably be using the Urban Crow Oracle with it. But this deck is definitely coming out more. I used it a little bit when I first got it, and I fell head over heels. And then I'm like, okay, this has to wait for a darker part of the year because that's where it belongs. And so I feel like the Frahaxa is like January to June. No, like March to August, and then this is like September to March. Deck. Seriously, it's so beautiful and so dark and so wonderful and so it's passionate, and I there's no words. It's every part of it is amazing and stunning and gorgeous, and I love it, and I cannot wait to start using this again. In the darker parts of the year. Now, that being said, any of my decks can be used at any point in the year because all my decks call to me differently. I will wake up one week and be like, oh, I need a summer deck. Or what I think of as a summer deck. And there will be no rhyme or reason. I just need that pick-me-up of that light, beautiful colors. That's not to say this won't happen again because it happens like it happened in January. I needed a summery deck, and I put away the darker decks for a while. And again, that happens in the wintertime or in the summertime where I'm like, I need a dark deck today. I need a dark rainy day deck. And then I'll pull out a different deck that I'm used to using. So all my decks are susceptible to be used at any parts of the year. But these are the decks that I know for a fact I will be pulling out starting now until winter's over, probably in March, that I need to work with because I haven't yet really, and that I need to get into, and it's going to be fitting for that darker part of the year. So that's all the video I have for you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And I hope you guys do this video too. Let me know in the comments if you do it. And you have a good afternoon. Bye.